The skies of Carrion burned red as the human envoy screamed his last. The Council of the Karath Dominion, an empire older than Earth's first pyramids, had convened to make an example of the fragile upstarts who dared to resist. The humans had come peacefully. They had sent an envoy, a silver-haired woman dressed in white, carrying no weapon. Her mission was to argue against the Dominion's newest decree. All young colonies in the Orion Spur were to submit, tithe their resources, and send their strongest youth as bonded labor to the Empire. To the Karath, it was a natural demand. To the humans, it was chains. The envoy spoke of sovereignty, of freedom, of humanity's right to stand as equals among the stars. The council chambers erupted in cruel laughter. "You think yourselves our peers?" hissed Archon Velthir, his scaled hands tightening around the ceremonial chain of authority. "You are nothing but loud prey who learn to forge steel. You will kneel, you will tithe, you will serve, or you will burn." They executed the envoy live before the council floor, her last words silenced by a blade across her throat. The Dominion's envoys broadcasted it across human colonies, thinking the display would cow Earth into obedience. But instead, it lit a fuse. The arrogance of tyrants. In the Dominion's inner circles, celebration reigned. Their fleets feasted on captured supply ships. Their markets swelled with plundered goods stripped from colonies too small to resist. In the Karath's long memory, no young species had ever dared rise against the decree of bondage. They saw humans as loud, emotional creatures, brave perhaps, but scattered. "They cannot organize," muttered a governor, pouring fermented ichor into his cup. "Their worlds are divided, their fleets primitive. At best they field patrol craft with crude rail weaponry. What can such things do against the Dominion Armada?" Others laughed louder. "They will beg for the chains we offer once they learn the cost of rebellion. They will crawl to us on their knees, asking forgiveness, and we will grant it, after their sons and daughters serve a century in our labor pits." They did not see the storm building beyond their sight. The silence before the fire. The Dominion expected defiance. They expected shouting. They expected pathetic speeches broadcast from Earth's diplomats. But instead, the humans went silent. Weeks passed, then months. Human trade ships withdrew from Dominion ports. Their colonies went dark, refusing comms. Patrols noted a growing absence of civilian vessels on common lanes. To the Karath, it seemed the humans were sulking. "A child's tantrum," sneered one admiral. But to the neutral observers, the silence was wrong. Humanity had always been noisy in galactic politics. Their laughter, their songs, their endless chatter across the stars, it was part of what made them tolerable to other species, and now it was gone. One Kalari merchant whispered, "When the humans grow quiet, it is not peace, it is preparation." Still, the Dominion Council dismissed the warnings. They mistook silence for weakness. They thought humanity had been broken. They had no idea that Earth's shipyards had gone into triple-shift production, that hidden foundries on Mars' moons hammered out weapons forbidden in galactic treaties, that ancient bunkers, relics of a nuclear-armed past, now hummed with new power. The chains demanded of them had been melted down. The fire was coming. The first strike. The first Dominion fleet never saw Earth's vengeance coming. They had been dispatched to pacify the colony of Jericho 3, a garden world circling a pale yellow sun. Their orders were to seize resources, execute resistance leaders, and take 10,000 colonists as labor tribute. Instead, as they descended into orbit, the void around them split open. Human warships emerged not singly, not in scattered groups, but in squadrons so vast they blotted out the light of Jericho's sun. Hulls black as midnight, cannons that glowed with the fire of fusion storms, dreadnoughts, carriers, missile barges, all bearing the insignia of Earth, the broken chain, reforged into a burning sword. The Dominion fleet, confident and relaxed, attempted to form battle lines. They never finished. Human weapons roared. Mass drivers the size of skyscrapers spat tungsten rods at relativistic speeds. Kinetic lances carved through shielded hulls as if they were paper. A single human salvo gutted half the fleet before they could fire back. The Dominion admiral's last broadcast before his ship split into molten shards was a single stunned phrase. "By the stars." They were ready. The flames of vengeance, word spread like fire across the galaxy. Systems once thought safe reported the sudden arrival of human fleets. The Dominion's proud stations, fortresses that had stood for centuries, were erased in hours. Whole battle groups vanished without leaving debris large enough to identify. The humans had no mercy. They did not raid. They did not enslave. They annihilated. Every strike carried the weight of cold justice, every bombardment a sermon of retribution. On the world of Cartel, where Dominion nobles had forced human miners into labor camps, orbital footage showed the arrival of Earth's ships. Not one mine remained standing by the end of the day. The camps were broken open, the guards executed. Survivors whispered prayers to ships that left as swiftly as they came, like storms that needed no thanks. In the Dominion High Council, panic began to stir. Reports arrived daily of more lost fleets, shattered colonies, burned supply lines. One counselor, trembling, asked the forbidden question, "Did we wake a beast we cannot cage?" The inferno at Zebar Gate. The climax came at the Zebar Gate, a massive wormhole nexus, the jewel of the Dominion. Whoever controlled it, controlled the flow of half the Empire's trade. The Dominion gathered everything they had. 4 grand fleets, countless escorts, mercenaries, even press-ganged vassal ships. They expected humanity to strike there. They hoped, perhaps, to crush them in one decisive battle. The humans obliged. The silence before the storm broke as Earth's fleets emerged in disciplined formation, dwarfing even the gathered armada. Dreadnoughts painted with the blackened steel of lost colonies led the charge. Their comms broadcast a single phrase across every frequency. The Council demanded our chains. Humanity brings only fire. The battle was not a battle. It was an extermination. Human torpedoes tore through cruisers. Rail salvos gutted carriers. Fighter swarms darkened the skies like locusts, tearing apart stragglers. The Dominion's war cry broke against Earth's iron wall, and for every human ship destroyed, a dozen Dominion vessels fell screaming into the void. In the end, the wormhole nexus itself was consumed in the fury. The humans detonated the gate's stabilizers, collapsing it into a singularity that swallowed fleets whole. The jewel of the Dominion became a graveyard lit by fire. The silence. After fire, when the flames subsided, the galaxy did not cheer. It whispered. The Dominion was broken. Its fleets shattered. Its rulers fled. Its proud chains melted down into slag. But humanity did not stay to conquer. Their fleets withdrew to their colonies, leaving only wreckage and the memory of their vengeance. They did not take slaves. They did not raise banners over foreign worlds. They left silence and ruin in their wake. To some, this was mercy. To others, it was worse. For humanity had shown that their wrath was not conquest. It was punishment. Swift. Unstoppable. Infinite. In the months that followed, in cantinas and starports, one phrase became law among spacers and governors alike. Never provoke Earth again. For the Council had demanded chains, but humanity had brought fire instead. And in that fire, an empire learned the price of arrogance. Epilogue. Whispers in the dark years later. Dominion refugees would still tell their children about the day of fire. They spoke not of heroes or victories, but of the silence before the storm. How the humans vanished from the stars, only to return like an ocean breaking its dam. And in the halls of new empires rising from the ashes, one question was asked in hushed tones. If this is what humanity unleashes when wronged, what happens when they are truly at war?